Hello everyone to Suzuka Circuit. Happy Golden Week to everyone in Japan and the rest of the world. Welcome everyone, of course, to round 4 of Formula Hololive Japan qualifiers for the 2024 season. We're here in Suzuka for the Mia Super Prix. And as we're about to get the qualifying session underway soon, before that, let's take a look into the track map. Now, we do want to apologize for the wrong dates. It should not be May 3rd and May 4th. It should be May 4th and 5th. And also the JST and the UTC times are essentially swapped. So apologies for that, but everything else is true. We're looking at the longest racetrack in the ARO racing calendar, the longest track on the Hololive racing season. In both the JP and the international side of things, at least the ones that are still currently active. So all of these drivers will have to deal with 18 corners on this racetrack. Because you have the Acid, you got the 2 Degners, the Hairpin, Spoon, 130R, and the Casio Triangle they need to mainly deal with. Also, since this is a Super Prix, since we're talking about the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka, we're only going to be racing for 44 laps for a total race distance of 250 kilometers. 138.863 is the target time for the drivers involved, as that was the pole time that Daniel Barger set on the last time we raced at Suzuka. That was in the Suzuka Grand Prix in the 2023 Formula Hololive Japan season. It's the 4th round of qualifiers, and believe it or not, it's actually the penultimate round of qualifiers before we get onto the final qualifier race at Sportsland Sugo. So for the drivers who are currently in the Zako spots outside the top 10, they're going to need to put up a performance like no other and get themselves inside the top 5 if they want to have a very, very good shot of making it into the Tsuyo Cup. It's the first of 2 races at Suzuka, mind everyone, because we have the Mia Super Prix right now this weekend, and then later on in, I believe, September or October, we will have the Suzuka Grand Prix, which will be part of the Tsuyo Zako Cup coming up in a few months' time. That being said, let's take a look into the Spotters Guide for Split A. No changes from the previous round. We have Alton Taro, Lorenzo Ricci representing Okayu and Marine respectively. Johan Sinful for Natsui Ramatsuri. Michael Turner is for Shirgai Noel. Crystal Salman reps Aski's colors. Hoshi Sonorio is going to be hot on the heels and make sure he gets another podium finish, or at the very least a win for Nakiri Ayame. Lasa Damasha for Aki Rosenthal, Richiwa for Shirakami Fubuki, Rustin Karaja for Plus Darkness, Kamina Reba for Shiro Botan, Pablo Mendes for Hakuri Koyori. Sean Pauly continues to rescue Coronet colors, being one of the few long-standing drivers in the team. Kyle Williams, of course, is also going to be going along to Famani Kanata. Alex Grant for Ikana Lamy, Callum Gibbons for Roboco. Raji Kaczynski, of course, also one of the other long-standing drivers for Yusuke Choku. And also we have Ri Liu for Sakamata Chloe. And also let's take a look into the standings after the Tsukuba Super Prix. As we can see here, Plaza Damasham after his win at the Tsukuba Super Prix 2 weeks ago. Damasham now has, or rather not 2 weeks ago, that was I believe a month ago, yeah. He actually managed to extend his lead over Lorenzo Ricci, and he's now almost a race win away. He has a race win worth of gap between himself and second as Lorenzo Ricci, and if he can get another top 5, he will be crowned the Split A champion, and also at the same time guarantee himself a spot in the CO Cup. So we have Lorenzo Ricci and Elton Santana waiting in the wings in 2nd and 3rd. Cameron Reba and Tyler Williams currently sitting 4th and 5th. Richie Raw and Ri Liu sitting 7th and 6th respectively. Rustin Karaja and Sean Pauly hang on to 8th and 9th, while Hoshizono Rio, who didn't the ride in question, Ayame didn't score any points in the first 2 races, managed to get a 3rd place, his debut podium in his debut race in aero competitions. So Hoshizono Rio is going to try to build on that. The drivers outside of Zako include Michael Turner, Mendes, Gibbons, Kaczynski, Salman, Alex Grant, and Johan Sinful. These drivers are going to be desperate for performance, especially for Chris Salman, which Aski has been quite committed to the bright uniform as of late. So Chris Salman probably has some pressure on his shoulders, but at the same time, he probably needs to also have a clear mind coming into this round of the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka. That being said, let's move over into qualifying finally. I'm Mama Reza in the commentary booth, and unfortunately, it's still just going to be me as the sole commentator for this round at the very least and this weekend. So bear with me here if there's going to be any sudden mistakes that is going to be made. So with that being said, cars are now finally out in qualifying. First two drivers are going to be Sean Pauli for Inugami Korone and Rustin Caraccio for Lapless Darkness. You know, looking at Sean Pauli though, if you want to know one thing that is synonymous between Sean Pauli and Inugami Korone, is that they both do bold moves that you don't think is possible, but it's actually possible given their stature. As for Sean Pauli, first I should talk about Inugami Korone. As for Inugami Korone, she actually first does a cartwheel in the third and fourth fest with hand support, but by the fifth fest, which happened earlier this year, she actually went full no hands and did a somersault. So on her own, with her own body, so that is something to be excited for if you are for this kid. Some very bold moves. And for Sean Pauli, he also made some bold moves around the outside at Coca-Cola corner, and also hanging around in 100R at Fuji. That's also one thing to watch out for Sean Pauli. He can find moves for him to overtake someone in the most unlikely places possible. So anyways, let's take a look into Crystal Salman, the defending race winner, at least for Split B, in the at Suzuka. Last time he was here, he actually won it. So let's go on board Crystal Salman in the number 12 ASCII car. Brake after the 100-meter board before the Casio Triangle, and he's going to have a very good launch onto the after Casio Triangle. Watch out for that off-cambered final corner. As Crystal Salman finally starts this lap here in Suzuka. Driver's probably getting in the way, but he is actually going to block Crystal Salman's path here. He had to back off because Antanaro was advancing way too far heading into turn 1, and that compromised Salaman's time. And now heading into the S's, you gotta treat the S's as one single corner. Make sure you have this rhythm flowing to make sure you have the max minimum speed. Now coming into Dunlop here, you also want to take it easy on the throttle, as you can also understand easily here. And now coming to Degner, just a slight dab before coming into the corner, and then that's the first part. And then the second part, you gotta slam on the brakes a bit. Now under the bridge, and now into the hairpin. After the curve, you gotta brake hard and then try to hit the apex, which he kind of missed it, but still on for a pretty decent lap. Salman, and now approaching Spoon. Or just hanging around in fourth gear, not interested in downshifting third on that first part, and now he downshifts to third to get that turning acceleration. And now he comes into the second sector timing, made 1:18.798. Pretty decent lap for him so far, but his first lap was indeed hampered. Easy flat at 130R, and now braking at the Casio Triangle, as we mentioned here. Brake after 100-meter board, slam on the brakes to make sure you navigate the chicane very well, and that should be a lap here at Suzuka after you exit the triangle and navigate the final corner. That'll be 1:41.914 for Salman at the moment, and also Rustin Caraccio. He set the provisional pole, but it's not going to be Kamine Riba who has the provisional pole right now. 1:39.997 for the driver who has already won at Fuji Speedway this season. So we're looking at Crystal Salman right now to see how his improved first sector looks. He still has a driver behind that is Alcin Tanarao. And it's Alcin Tanarao, and he's actually piling on the pressure on Salman for some reason. And as you can see here, Salman is only 3/10 behind on that first sector. So if he can manage a good pace on the second and third sectors, he can get up the order. But at the same time, we also want to take a look into Tanarao, who is actually blocked by Salman. And at the same time, we have Valsa Damashna being blocked by Tanarao. That's going to cause some headaches for these two drivers. Hoshizuna Ryo already crosses the line. He will be 6th because Michael Turner has already crossed the line. He will be 4th. Salman doing very well to get himself into the top 10 at the moment. Right now he is doing okay, staying in that top 10 spots. Only 8 tenths after the first 2 sectors. Now coming into the final sector. Let's hope Crystal Salmon thinks of completing this lap. Also Ryan Kaczynski second, Tom Pauly third. And we got Crystal Salmon looking to commit this lap over, and he will get up into 7, but not before Antanaro gets up to 8th and Damashev in 6th. Salman might be struggling right now, but if he can at least get some consistent top 10 and top 5 finishes like he has done in Hololive GT3 or ASCII, he should be able to point his way towards the Tsuyo. Currently, we only have one driver who has managed to break through below the 140s, and that is Kaminari Reba. Of course, he won the Capture the Moment Grand Prix Split A race at Fuji. After beating the likes of Johan Sinful, Tyler Williams in a straight-up dogfight for the race win, and he did come out as a victor. And actually, he is the only JB class winner amongst the 3-point Spain races. So he's the driver, and of course Shirobota and the talent who managed to grab the most out of the 5th best Grand Prix. I'll talk about everyone here. We all also have Michael Turner getting up into 6th place for Noel. The people in Oita, well, for Oita, I've got to be very excited about that. And looking at the bottom of the grid here, Johan Sinful is going to be well, Johan Sinful does a horrible season in aero competitions continue, as he is not breaking into the top 15, let alone the top 10. Also, Richie Rod here, he's quite down the order. He has won the Hololive GT3 Japan Series postseason in 2023, like last year, and now he's just quite down there in 16th, a fall from grace, and as what some people have put it, a championship hangover. Mochizono Rio was inside the top 5 at one point. That was when the drivers, not all drivers have set their lap times, and now he's dropped down to 12th. The rookie probably being brought back down to earth after a lot of things that have happened. Oh, and speaking of which, Johan Sinful actually manages to beat Richie Rod this time. Now he is the second to last driver instead of the last driver, and now you can see here Kaminari Reba has just got out of the pits there and blocks Johan Sinful, and that looks like Alex Grant, right? No, that's not Alex Grant, that's probably Michael, yeah, not Michael Turner either. Hal Williams, no. Anyways, looking into some of the other drivers, Roger Kaczynski is about to cross the 2nd sector. He is actually only 0.03 of a second, so we're probably going to be looking at Kaczynski setting a pole time, a provisional pole time, if he continues to have a good run, especially if we can find a lot of time on that final sector. Roger Kaczynski has been very, very good here in Suzuka, very fast in practice, and now he's looking to try to get himself ever so closer to pole position. He does, but that's not enough to beat Riba. Sean Pauly too, with a very good performance there. Only 1/10 behind Kaminari Riba, up in 3rd place. Ratio 4, Ricky Fit, and Tara gets up into 8th place. More drivers coming out of the pit lane as it stands, and you can see here that is, I believe, Lorenzo Ricci out, blocking Crystal Salmon and Alton Tara once again. These 2 drivers. Antanaro and Salman are gonna hope that they should be able to pit once again, so that they can have some fresh rubber and a change of setup. That is even allowed to change of setup, and get themselves another run in the qualifying. As right now, Antanaro sits at 8th, Salman is at 9th. The one thing going for Antanaro is that his consistent points finishes in Formula Hololive competitions is doing himself absolute wonders for the strange, well, not, I wouldn't say strange, but yeah, the fan that has lost their talent, now sheltering in Onigiri, that is Antanaro, and meanwhile, This is a bit of a surprise to Zona Rio. We thought that he might be humbled back down to earth, but now he's not. He's now up into 6th place with a solid lap time. He will have set a 140.6 to put the Nakiri Ironman number 18 up into the top 6. Very, very exciting to see as we're about to pass in. We're already passed through into the final 5 minutes of this qualifying session. Alright, now the Golden Week, everyone's enjoying their times, you know, everyone's enjoying this racing session while qualifying here, these Formula Hololive cars. The next few hours of Super GT guys are going to be racing in, well, qualifying in Fuji for their Golden Week race. And looking at Kamine Riba, he's doing pretty okay at the moment. He is setting good lap times here, so he should have 3 or 2 more attempts at it at Suzuka to try to mount a surmountable lap time, and that should not be good enough because I believe he was being blocked. So anyways, Kamine Riba has a point to prove. He has a win already at Fuji. He wants to try to make it 2 for Super Bowl time as he aims to get that number 43 car to get into pole position. Will he be able to do it? He's doing very okay here in Dunlop. You're coming to the first sector timing game. It's going to be tight and not exactly tight. He's actually quite far from that first sector. I'm not sure what is in this current setup that doesn't work for Riba. So Kamine Riba is going to try to find something in that second and final sector. Maybe the track conditions have already changed to the point where he's not really accustomed to the current conditions that he has at the moment. Not finding the grip and the time that he has been looking for. Raja Kaczynski is going to be set to score his first pole position in Formula Hololive Japan for this season. And he has to. I mean, he's currently down in 11th place, outside the Tsuyo Cup spots. If he can get himself into the top 5, at least if he can finish top 5 this race, then he'd be sure to get himself back into the Tsuyo Cup spots. And now Kamine Riba coming up after coming into the final corner, and now Kamine Riba says, you know what, this lap is irredeemable. We're gonna have to pit. I think that should be Kamine Riba's time over in qualifying unless he will provide us with some surprises. There's also Lorenzo Ricci, who have won the prior Malaysia, the Japan Grand Prix. That was in the start of the season back in February. Lorenzo Ricci, of course, has been shown to be quite a talented driver in the Hosha Marine ride. And now we have Vlaza Demashnev getting himself up into 4th place. The defending race winner from Split A, who have won at Tsukuba, is gonna stake his claim further up the grid, and now this should be his final lap in qualifying. As if any drivers are still pitting, that should be their qualifying sessions over. That should be Riba, Pauly, Caraccio, Salman, Williams, and Sinful. That will be their qualifying sessions over. Salman will qualify no higher than 10, Williams no higher than 13, Sinful no higher than 16, also for Caraccio no higher than 5th. Liu is gonna try to dismantle someone from a position. That is what he did. Liu now up into 11th place against Callum Gibbons. Kaczynski, Riba, Pauly, that should be their qualifying sessions over. Vlasa Demashnev is the highest driver inside this standings, still out there in qualifying. Let's see if Vlasa Demashnev can provide us with quite an upset against the established top 3 right now. Vlasa Demashnev coming across the back, coming on the back straight here. He is actually improved by about 0.08 of a second. He is getting help from the slipstream from the cars ahead. Demashnev, if he can have a clean final 3 corners here at the Casio Triangle, he is going to be set to get himself in pole position. beating the likes of the Masha, Paulie, and Reba, but he is somehow he's decided that okay, maybe this lap is not gonna go. I'm not sure why he's decided to get into the pit lane, but well, he probably wants a challenge. Oh, hopefully that doesn't hurt him too much. Anyways, Gibbons up into 9th place as the final drivers cross the line to finish this qualifying session. Hoshizono Rio 7, Michael Turner 8th, and Tanneral is in 10th right now. Rio and that looks like Alex Grant are about to finish their laps here. No improvements for them. Turner is still on his lap, and Tanneral's on his lap still. Really has decided that it's time for him to go to the pits. Mendes and Rod are still in the basically still in this session here, and Tanneral has now gotten himself up into 5th place in car number 5 for Nekomata Kayu. That's got to be something to be excited for. Well, if you're in Onigiri, that is. Richie Rod is about to get himself to the end of this qualifying session, although options for him are going to be quite limited, so he's going to be set to finish this lap anyway. That was the case with the Masha, and he doesn't find any improvements. Fabio Mendes already 1.7 seconds slower than the fastest time set by Roger Kaczynski, 1:39.799. And coming into the caster triangle, Fabio Mendes and Michael Turner are about to get their lap times done. We're gonna get the intermission ready. And we have confirmed to you that there are no further changes into the timing order. We have a bit of a confirmation. Roger Kaczynski is your pole sitter for the 2024 Mia Super Prix at Suzuka Split A race. Anyways, it's a quite interesting qualifying session here. We are seeing some archballs currently occupying the top spot in qualifying, and that is the case for Roger Kaczynski. He starts on pole position for Yuzuki Choko in the number 74 Yuzuki Choko car. And alongside him is, of course, Kaminari Reba, 2nd place for Shishiro Botan. He has won once. Can he win a 2nd one? Sean Pauli 3rd for Inagami Korone, alongside Vasato Mashnev 4th for Aki Rosenthal, the championship leader, currently sitting in 4th place. Alster and Tanneral 5th for Caillou, with Rustin Carrasco 6th for Lapis Darkness. Lorenzo Ricci 7th for Hosha Marine. Hoshizono Rio 8th for Nakiri Ayame, alongside Michael Turner and Callum Gibbons, the 2 Australians in the 5th row, representing Shirogai Noel and Roboco respectively. Salman aims to have a very good result here in Suzuka, but he has his work cut out, starting from 11 for Aski. Really starts 12 for Sakamata Chloe. Good for driver currently sitting inside the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler Williams 13th for Amane Kanata, alongside Fabio Mendes 14th for Hakui Koyori. Alex Grant 15th for Yukan Alami, alongside Richie Rod 16th for Shirakan Fubuki. And Johan Sinfo rounds out the field here of 17 cars who will start this Split A race for Natsuhiro Matsuri. He will start last. And as we mentioned here, it's an interesting qualifying session at the start. We are looking at some interesting matchups here at the front. Roger Kaczynski providing us with quite a surprise. He had the crash that he had at Fuji last March. Will he be able to correct the mistake? Well, correct the error that has been done at Suzuka? We will have to wait and see, as we're about to get this race properly underway. Meanwhile, we also have Kaminari Reba in 2nd, Sean Pauli 3rd, Vlasa Damashna 4th. So, just wanted to check on something before we start the race. So anyways, let's take a look into the starting grid here, as we're about to get this Mia Super Race Suzuka underway. And as we mentioned here, it is actually Roger Kaczynski on pole position alongside Kaminari Reba in 2nd. The cars are about to get underway here in Suzuka, and the race finally gets going. And as you can see here, that's a very good launch there by Kaminari Riba. Raja Kaczynski is forced to defend. Coming into turn 1, that's a very good run by Kaminari Riba around the inside. But Kaczynski is going to try to defend around the outside, and that's going to be a successful defense. He's still alongside, but not for long. Kaminari Riba manages to beat him, and now Riba now leads the Miya Super and Suzuka. Kaczynski second, Damashev third, Hololive fourth, and Tanra fifth. Richie sixth is gonna be overtaken by Kurashio. Gibbons eighth, Hoshizono Rio ninth, and Michael Turner is inside the top 10. Quite frantic here at Suzuka here for the first lap. And you can see here Hoshizono Rio is getting a place, but he has to defend against Callum Gibbons. And we thought that there's gonna be a messy contact between the two. And looks like it's going to be good for now. Kaminari Riba currently still leads this race. He's now opened a gap of 0.4 of a second against Rajan Kaczynski. And right now everyone's keeping a pretty simple gap here except Kaczynski, who is actually gaining against Kaminari Riba. Looks like starting second might just prove to be beneficial anyways for Riba, as he was able to start on the inside line of the front row coming into the start. And now, as the drivers pile their way into the back straight and into 130R, there's not going to be any battles as it stands right now. Hoshizono Rio is not close enough to Lorenzo Ricci to mount any real challenge. Looking into the progress charts here, there are some gains by Callum Gibbons, Rio Leo, Fabio Mendes, Plaza Damasha, and of course Kaminari Riba on that start. So, and as you can see here, we got lap 2 starting, and you can see here everyone's going to go for a pretty simple pit stop strategy. There might not hit until just about the next 8 to 9 laps as it stands. They will go for a one stop for all these drivers, and of course it's only 250 kilometers rather than the standard 305 for the Grand Prix. This is a Super Prix we're talking about, the Super Prix at Suzuka. So we're looking at drivers just getting themselves in the groove, and Tanaro, of course, getting very close there to Holly, and at the same time we have Gibbons also getting close there to Hoshizono Rio. The veteran representing Roboco is going to try to teach the rookie, currently driving for IMA, what they've got right now, because right now both of these drivers have got some quality between them. Of course, we've got Gibbons, who's won the 2023 Split A championship last year in Formula Hololive. Let's see if he can probably mount a charge. Tyler Williams is currently in 14th place, and given that Kanata is about to host her own live concert in about 4 days' time, most likely using the bright uniforms, Tyler Williams needs to get a shot on, and needs to pick up the pace to make sure he properly manages to challenge the likes of Riba and Damasha, who is currently up there. Also, Lorenzo Ricci and Alton Tanner. Kaminari Riba has the fastest lap of the race so far, 140.5484 for the Italian driver. So, reasons to be excited if you are an SSRB. We're probably going to be seeing the both-time car win for the second time this season, and put him above the likes of the first-time race winners. Anyways, back onto the race here. Tyler Williams trying to catch the likes of Fabio Mendes, and right now he is not catching up though. Everyone is just minding their own business as it stands. Damashev currently third, Kaczynski second. No changes in the running order here, as exemplified by Suzuka's track characteristics here. Forgot to mention it all at the start of the race, at the start of the stream, is that Suzuka, while it is very good for qualifying, like just running through the lap here in Suzuka can provide you with a challenge due to Suzuka's width, 1, and 2, the characteristics of Suzuka having lots of high-speed corners and not much opportunity for not many long straights here. This would mean that overtaking is going to be more difficult here in Suzuka, and that will also mean that there's not going to be much racing action other than the strategies that we might be looking at. Maybe if they can go side by side after the Casio Triangle in the main straight, or after Spoon and heading into 130R at the back straight, maybe there's a chance. But right now we're not going to be counting on it too much. As you can see, Hoshizano Ryo was only able to get close to Gibbons by 0.2 of a second before he has to back off. And as you can see here, overtaking at the SS is pretty much going to be difficult, and you're also going to be set to lose some lap time due to the amount of dirty air that is being put here. Anyways, back onto the current racing situation here, and it looks to me that there's not much changes here in Suzuka. As you can see, just drivers going around as usual, not wanting to risk too much. Salman currently down in 12, really needs a good result though. He probably needs a good strategy right now. Looking at Crystal Salman's strategy, 9, he's gonna be going for a pretty quick pit stop here. Of course, Callum Gibbons will pit earlier than some of the other drivers involved, as you can see here. Alex Grant and Callum Gibbons will be the first to pit. And looking at the other drivers, actually, Anson Tanner is going to be the first to pit. He's going to be pitting on lap 6. Gibbons will probably pit on lap 7 or 8, depending on how it goes. And most of the drivers will be pitting on lap 10, so I need to pay attention on the pit stops that will be coming in shortly. See where it goes. Cameron Rebels at the fastest lap so far, 140.203 for the Italian, and he is doing very, very well here to maintain his spot up front. Mr. Salman currently in 12th place, trying to catch Rio Leo in 11th, and right now he is doing okay. Although we have Russell Croshaw now up into 6th place after he encountered troubles at Tsukuba, he is going to try to get himself further up into the standings, to at least secure his spot in the Tsuyo Cup. And as it stands right now, Vladislav Domashnev in 3rd would mean that Domashnev will have easily secured his place in the Tsuyo. And looking at where Reboot is right now, and given his performances at Tsukuba, he will not be enough for him to challenge Domashnev. And as it stands, Vladislav Domashnev is actually going to be the Formula Hololive Japan Split A champion, with being wrapped up with one race to go. That just gives you the emphasis on how good of a season Vladislav Domashnev has at the moment for the Rosenthal. He is a part of the Rosenthal himself, and he is of course very proud to don the colors of Aki Rosenthal, that is his Oshi. During it multiple times, he talked about Aki Rosenthal. He only spoke greatly about what she does, her great choreography and all that stuff. Meanwhile, we have the first confirmation of drivers coming into the pit lane. That will be Alson Tannerau, hitting from, I believe, 7th place. And looking into Antara right now, he should be good until the end of this race. Yes, he should be good until the end of this race. So Antara is going to go for a slightly long quite long pit stop here, and this would mean that he should have a lot of clean air at the very least to commit to this undercut strategy. Let's see where it goes from here. Here we have Jeff Clark, Hoshizano Ryo. We apologize for the wrong stickers here, and basically the wrong car. Now, if we're gonna need to give a bit of something as to why Hoshizano Ryo is actually using Jeff Clark's car and all that stuff. So apparently there was a bit of a issue with Hoshizano Ryo's actual car, the one that has Honda engines. So right now, since they couldn't get the car repaired in time, they have to find a spare, and that spare was found in the form of Jeff Clark's previous chassis, which had Toyota engine. So as you can see here, now we have Hoshizono Ryo currently using Jeff Clark's car. So if you want to know why that's the case, that's also, I hope we can explain that. Also, they're a bit lazy to change the stickers, so also, I guess. Anyways, 3 drivers have already come into the pits. We have Alex Grant, Rustin Carrascio, and Callum Gibbons currently in serving their time in the pit lane at the moment. And that just leaves only 13 drivers who have yet to make their pit stop. It looks to me that, of course, Gibbons, Grant, and Carrascio are going to be committing to a quite long pit stop duration here. And the Tanra is on a race against time to catch both Gibbons, Grant, and Carrascio. Looking into the rest of the drivers here, they're most likely going to pit no later than 4 laps. So the latest all of these drivers are going to have to pit is going to be on lap 11. So that should be the time when the pit stop strategies will be done and dusted. Here's Vlasa Damashev coming across the back straight trying to catch Kaczynski. The drivers already coming out of the pits here. We have Rustin Carrascio actually beating Callum Gibbons and Alex Grant. This is quite interesting to see, as we can see Alcantara finally getting out, actually beating Alex Grant, but not beating Callum Gibbons so far. Meanwhile, we have more drivers coming to the pits. That's Rajan Kaczynski and Sean Pauly coming in. Fabio Mendes coming across the start-finish line. He will pass the drivers who is currently pitting. And now we have Damashev and Kamina Riba actually trading blows between each other, it seems, because you can see here Damashev actually... Oh, I can see here it was Alex Grant. It was Alex Grant that was blocking the leading 2 drivers, and Kamina Riba was exposed to Vlasa Damashev's advancements, and now Vlasa Damashev is going to try to steal back the race lead. He's going to try to go back-to-back. Kamina Riba is not going to be happy by the fact that Alex Grant is blocking him. Right now, Riba is definitely begging for Alex Grant to move over, and that he will do. But the damage has already been done. The gap's already opened down to 1.7 seconds, and they're still going to go side by side before Grant finally concedes the position. Riba is absolutely raging, presumably in Italian, about this incident. And right now, Riba is going to try to get himself some opportunities against Damashev. He's going to be feeling that blue flags aren't properly enforced here. So as for the drivers who have already made their pit stops, Kaczynski and Pauly have already gone now. Rustin Carrascio here, Gibbons and Taro, Grant as well. So we still have about 11 drivers who have yet to make their pit stop. Crystal Salman also coming in to start making his pit stop. You know, we have Lorenzo Ricci and Hoshizono Ryo trying to go down the... no, it's gonna get close there. It's actually Lorenzo Ricci against Alex Grant, who has been pretty slow up to this currently, with the second stint not doing himself any wonders. Speaking of which, Kaczynski is currently at the hairpin. If Salman can have a very, very quick pit stop, beating the likes of Raja Kaczynski, then Salman is going to have a field day with his second stint. And see if he can survive the onslaught from Kaczynski and Pauly, Salman might just be able to grab a very good result by strategy for the Pioneers. Coming into the back straight, you can see Kaczynski's rear end view of basically everything behind him, and now you can still see here as well, Kaczynski. Kaczynski now barrels through, passing through the catcher triangle. And you can see Kaczynski is now barreling to the main straight because Salman is finally getting out. Kaczynski is in the main straight right now because Salman is going to ace his strategy nearly to perfection. He should be able to be ahead of Sean Pauli, but not enough to beat YJ Kaczynski. If he can continue this performance and set consistent lap times here and there, then that will mean that Salman is going to be the one who takes the at least top 5. Meanwhile, the fast lap goes to Vladislav Damashev. You can see his speed trap nearly beats the actual speed trap here. The speed trap is like 301 coming at the end of the main straight coming into turn 1. Meanwhile, Hoshi Zonorio and Michael Turner come into the pits currently. They're going to have some time in the pit lane. As does Richie Raw and Johan Sinfold. Some of the Gen 1 cars are not going to be having a field day. If you're not Vlasa Damasha, you're not going to be having too much of a field day. You know, we have Vlasa Damasha who's still barreling down this main straight, actually extending his lead over Kamen Reba. He's got some amazing race pace at the moment. Damashev, he's going to try to make it back-to-back. At the same time, we've got 4 drivers being called in the pit lane. Fabio Mendes, Kamen Reba, and Lorenzo Ricci and Vlasa Damashev. Lorenzo Ricci has also been called into the pits. That should be the last drivers who will be called into the pit lane at the moment. And as you can see, Hoshizano Rio gets out first. Michael Turner comes out next. It's still going to be a battle between who's it going to be. It's going to be a battle between Sinful and Rod to see who's going to beat who. And it looks like going to be Sinful against Richie Rod. It's going to be tied between the two. They're already faced between each other, but it looks like it's going to be Richie Rod against Johan Sinful. It's Richie Rod who's the victor. And looking into the last drivers coming into the pits right now. Damashev, Reba, and Ricci finally coming to the pits. Really is about to be called in, as well as Fabio Mendes. Tyler Williams will be the last driver who will still stay out on track right now, but he will only... Okay, never mind. Tyler Williams has already come out right now. Come out of the pits. And looking into some surprises here, Hoshizano Rio actually beats Salman, as does Michael Turner and Ryuji Kaczynski. So the pit stop cycles have yet to actually conclude. Hoshizano Rio coming in hot using Jeff Clark's car and helmet also, just to give you all a bit of clarification. Damashev, Ricci, Williams, Reba, Mendes, Liu, and all of them, the 6 remaining drivers of yet to pit, are currently in the pits right now. Kamen and Reba have already passed through. Damashev has already passed through. It's not going to be enough for Rio, Turner, Kaczynski, and Salman. Ricci's coming out in 3rd. Liu is going to have a strategy masterclass of basically overcutting. He will now be in 4th place. Fabio Mendes also has a good run for Harvey Koya right now with that pit stop right now. Hoshizano Rio is going to beat Fabio Mendes, and that is going to be a great execution of strategy for the drivers who have chosen to pit quite later into this race. And with all drivers already committing to their one and only pit stop, let's take a look back into the progress chart. And as you can see, the biggest gainer is, of course, Liu, who started 12, who's now up into 4th place. Strategy is going to be the name of the game for him. He's basically taken a page off of Sharon Reza's notebook as he has tried to learn how to execute masterful strategies, and that he does. He's now up into 4th place. And his fellow Hololive member, Fabio Mendes, is now up into 6th place. The bigger losers are going to be the ones who have made the undercut, spent too much time in the pit lane. And Taro is down in 15, Gibbons 13, Caraccio 12, Sean Pauli 11, lost at least 3 spots, maximum 10. Absolute disaster as far as strategies go. Strategies are absolutely not going their way. Rio currently in 4th place, trying to get something on. blue currently in actually we've already been around that bush too much, so right now there's not much happening except Antanaro actually trying to catch Richie Rod. He's gonna try to mount a charge against Rod, who has not had a good race up to this point, but let's just hope that there's gonna be some changes coming afoot soon. Right now, Altazar Tanaro has been trying to pile on the pressure on Richie Rod right now, as you can see here. They're trying to get closer to Richie Rod, but as you can see here, you can't really pass at the S's, neither at Dunlop or Deckner, unless you had a very good exit off of Dunlop, which is not going to be the case. Right now, every driver is just going to be chilling here in Suzuka, except if you're Crystal Salmon, who might want to try out some moves or two. Speaking of which, there's a train right now, and Salman is going to try to attack Tyler Williams. All Kanaken members are currently in Split A, with Tyler Williams in 9th representing Kanata, Salman 10th for ASCII, and Ryu 4 for Sakamata Chloe. Again, Minecraft construction companies who also double as idle units. Where have we seen that before? Anyways, currently getting close there. Crystal Salman against Tyler Williams. Ooh! That was almost the opportunity for Salman to get something out of it. But right now, nothing is on at the moment here on what has got to be a pretty interesting race at Suzuka, where strategy plays a role in determining the grid, the current running order. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Ricci though has been piling on the pressure on Kaminari Reba, so right now we got Ricci trying to get on to Reba because the time is lost there. Well, laps already complete here in Suzuka, and once we get past lap 22, it will be the halfway stage already here in Suzuka, and the fact that all these drivers have already had confirmations on their fuel strategy that's quite interesting. Looking into the rest of the field here, we might see a battle for 6th place, Bobby Mendes against Turner and Kaczynski. Mendes on the defensive. Turner and Kaczynski is going to try to attack. Tomashev is going to be a favorite to go back-to-back if he is not going to be impeded. Also looking at Alex Grant right now, he is currently at Dunlop and coming already in Deckner. Tomashev already in the main straight. So we're probably going to give Tomashev a few seconds, if that's what you want to call it, a few seconds. Well, a few laps, basically, at least 20 laps for Damasha to get caught up to Grant, and if Damasha isn't able to pass Grant in time, then it's going to be Kaminari Reba who's going to be taking up this opportunity to get past Damashev. And as it stands right now, Damashev is also going to be set to be the Split A champion and become the first driver to have officially booked himself a spot in the Tsuyo Cup if this goes on. Talking about Vlasa Damashev, he's been amazing in both Aero, in both Hololive GT3 competitions. Of course, he is qualified for the Tsuyo Cup last season, and I believe, okay, he hasn't won yet in Hololive GT3, at least in qualifiers. But for Damashev, he has had some good performances. He's done just enough for him to get into the Tsuyo series in Hololive GT3. As for Formula Hololive, he's doing the Rosenthal absolute wonders by trying to secure the Split A championship. If there is going to be a season on which Damashev is going to try to seal the deal on his place as though as an important Rosatai member, this is where he will do it. Of course, Aki Rosenthal, very underrated. Not the one that you really want to talk about in Hololive's VTubing sense, especially when you're competing. Well, not exactly competing, but especially when you're with the likes of Ayame, Suisei, Korone, Pecora, Aqua. You know, very, very popular members, also talented as well. But you see, slightly less popular name, but still equally as important member taking center stage is also going to be quite interesting and also nice to see. That is what Vazaz Bashev is going to do. He is a Rosenthal through thick and thin, and right now his efforts are going to be rewarded if he can hang on to this race lead and win the Mia Super Prix in Suzuka. He will undoubtedly bring silverware, well, at least as far as championships go, to the Rosenthal for the first time in aero competitions. Again, taking it easy at 130R. Of course, for these Apollo cars, they can take the 130R corner absolutely flat, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. Anyway, Sean Pauli trying to attack Crystal Salman, who is not catching up into Tyler Williams right now. Salman's season is going from, I'm not sure if it's going from bad to worse, because he's at the very least getting himself into the top 10, but given how the last time he was at Suzuka, he was actually quite down. And of course, we also wanted to mention that some of the engines have also been reverted to previous specs. This is to basically see whether or not that they are able to get themselves, back into trying to see if there's anything changing. Of course, these engines are all outputting the same amount of horsepower and the amount of torque. So the engines that you're seeing here, I think you're actually going to be seeing here, is mostly going to be purely cosmetic as far as sounds and looks go. But again, something to look out for. Salman currently in 10th place, trying to get himself closer and closer into Tyler Williams, but right now it's not working. Kaczynski currently 8th, trying to catch Michael Turner and Fabio Mendes, currently in 7th and 6th respectively. Right now there's really... The state of Suzuka being a difficult track to overtake, we can't state this enough. As you can see here, they can get very, very close there, but they can't really get close enough to actually go side by side, so that's also going to be something to watch out. Also, the Monster Ribba's gap has opened up to 11.9 seconds. Ricci's gap to Ribba have now opened up to 1 second. Dirty air and a possible tire wear is gonna be a bit of an issue, especially if you are chasing another driver who is actually a second at most ahead of you. The closer the worse, because your tires are gonna be warmer and hotter as a result, and there's not gonna be some optimal amounts of grip if that is going to be the case. Anyways, Raijin Kaczynski trying to pile on the pressure on Michael Turner once again, but right now nothing is still coming out of it. Crazy how the last time we were at Suzuka, which is the Suzuka Grand Prix split, well, the Suzuka Grand Prix postseason race. We got to see some frantic amount of racing action, especially if you remember Isekai Jimikolev and Daniel Barger getting into a tangle which Barger was sent to a spin. But right now everyone is just chilling here in Suzuka. Nothing too crazy or outrageous at the moment. Once the drivers know that they need to bring the cars to the finish line, 141.608 for the Rosenthal driver, and now Kamen Riba's gonna see if he is able to respond well to the challenge or not. 142.215, about 7 tenths slower, not doing Riba any favors. Meanwhile, Vlaza Domashnev is currently at the S's. Alex Grant's currently at the hairpin, so Domashnev is actually catching up to Alex Grant at a rate of naught, and if he's he needs to plan his overtakes soon. Actually needs to plan his overtake sooner rather than later, because if he's stuck behind Alex Grant, then the door's gonna be wide open for Riba and Riki to steal the race away from Domashnev. We also wanted to highlight this. We have 3 race winners in the top 3 positions. The first driver, who has yet to win a Formula Hololive race this season, is currently really in 4th. So if you want to see first-time race winner, then the chances are actually slipping away from all of us as it stands right now. We have Riley, of course, currently 4th, about 20 seconds behind Vlaza Domashnev. But of course, lap cars are still going to be a thing with Alex Grant down in 17th. And Tyler will at least salvage a single point, but so what could have been for Antanaro after his disastrous haul at G3 Japan Series Qualifiers campaign with Okayu. He, at the very least, was able to grab consistent 4th place finishes in both the Sepang Grand Prix and the Capture the Moment Grand Prix Split A race. Or was that Split C race? Because Okayu, I think, participated in Split C. Oh, well, Stage 3, sorry. And continue his good run with at least an 8th at Tsukuba. So that's that. Anyways, Antanaro trying to catch Richie Rod. He is getting closer and closer, and as you can see here, the gaps drop down to 0.2 of a second. Will he feel a move down the inside? He has to back off. It's not close enough. Antanaro is usually the driver that just takes it easy. Pushing forward for some overtaking moves there, Antanaro. He is faster than Rod, but he is currently being limited. Will it be enough here at the main straight? That's not going to be the answer. Well, it's not going to be enough. He's still going to be stuck behind Richie Rod at this rate. Gaps open up between Richie and Riba, and also Ryu against the top 3, as he is now 21 seconds behind Vladislav Domashnev. Domashnev is absolutely showing his class at the moment here, and also we have Vladislav Domashnev actually catching up there to Alex Grant. We want to know Alex Grant's time right now. He's sitting at 142.224. So not too slow at the moment, and you can see 141.467. So if he is going to be stuck behind Alex Grant, and Alex Grant is fast enough that overtaking through just moving over is not going to be possible, and Alex Grant is going to hold Vladislav Domashnev, and that will allow drivers at the back to catch up. Looking at Kamen Riba, Lorenzo Ricci, Ryu, Haji Sonorio currently in 5th place right now. Just checking on the current state of affairs right now, as you can see here. You can see here. Well, there's really not much to talk about, though, so I'm not sure if I can just leave the commentary as it is at the moment, and also I was really watching the stream for some reason. There's really not much to talk about here. We're just gonna still get this race continuing on as usual. If you want to talk about individual Hololive members, please feel free to let me know in the live chat. Please let me know. I'm eager to get some conversations going, as There's not much overtakes going on at Suzuka at the moment. We're still waiting. It's actually catching up to Johan Sinful though. And looking at Johan Sinful, he is only at 141.838. Alcantara 140.802, but still struggling to get an overtake done on Richie Rod. Now here's what Alcantara needs to do: get a good exit off a spoon, and then peel next to Richie Rod on the back straight. As you can see here, it's a good run there by Alcantara, but will it be enough? We'll have the slipstreams as assistance. Again, too far for Alcantara. Richie Rod's gonna defend this no problem. And as you can see, Alcantara might actually have a good run there onto that main straight. But of course, you can see he's actually lost a good amount of time there onto Richie Rod. Getting close, not close enough, no move. So you can see here Alcantara trying to get close to Rod. But of course, as we mentioned here about Suzuka, the straights are not long enough, especially given that the main straight is only 600 meters long, if I'm not mistaken, and the back straight is only around 700 or about 1 kilometer. But then the corner that precedes it is Spoon, which is meaning the high-speed corner, where it's going to be a lot of dirty air. So you essentially have only 600 meters to try to get close to your opponent. Meanwhile, Michael Turner currently in 7th place. Again, not much overtakes currently happening here in Suzuka, as we're about to get past the halfway stage. As Plaza de Masha has started at lap 22. Damashev doing very well here to keep the good times flowing for Aki Rosenthal. Hammer will at the very least also aim to also secure his spot in the Tsuyo Cup as it stands right now. So does Lorenzo Ricci and Ri Liu. But we'll have to check the final standings to basically confirm it. Here is Ri Liu trying to continue his run. Right now, I'm not sure there's much any more to talk about as the race is still processing, as it currently is at the moment. Speaking of, okay, let's talk about some other drivers. Looking at Sean Paul, currently losing, who's started 3rd, who's now down to 11th. Kaczynski started on pole, who's now down to 8th. Oops, that's not right. Anyways, looking into as far as Hololive topics go, not sure. We have Lorenzo Ricci, who have been representing Hosho Marine since the start of 2023, has won 2 Formula Hololive races up to this point. He has won a Hololive GT3 race for Hoshimachi Suisei. That's one of the few things he should at the very least be proud of. And as for Ricci himself, he is kind of committed to Marine, as of course there's he's not full-on Ichimi, just a casual Ichimi, from what we're seeing here, just a casual fan of Hosho Marine. That's not one that pretty much dedicated, but Ricci is at the very least trying to make his presence known amongst the, of course, the Ichimi, as we've mentioned. Anyways, Ricci has a very good run here in Formula Hololive Japan right now. He, I believe, is currently 2nd behind Vasa Damashev, And as it stands right now, the Mashab will be crowned the champion of Formula Hololive Japan Qualifiers Split A, and will of course book a spot in the Tsuyo. We will have Kaminari Reba currently in second, Richie third. Again, Hojizonori and Ryu still not being able to properly challenge between each other. And Michael Turner right now, who's currently trying to find a way past Fabian, I guess. Not close enough, unfortunately. Alex Grant catches up to Johansson. Full blast of the Monta is already exiting Dunlop. Grant is coming into their hairpin, so lap car interventions are gonna come in pretty soon as it stands. Oh, and as you can see, the IMA driver, that is Hojisono Ryo, currently in 5th place, trying to catch Ryu, but again, still nothing comes out. Everyone is having the same amount of tire wear, so yeah, not really much to talk about. First of the 2 Golden Week races here in Suzuka. I'm not seeing a lot of racing action, unfortunately. Well, we're gonna take no racing, but clean and fair. No actual racing, side-by-side actions, but it's still clean and fair. We'll take it over barn burners. We'll take it over barn burners that are too chaotic for their own good. Here's Michael Turner. Just want to check on the helmet though, especially at the back. Interesting design that Michael Turner has opted for. Anyways, looking back into other drivers, got really trying to pull away against Rio right now, who is currently in 4th. Rio's 5th. Salman currently in 10th, still also trying to catch Kyle Williams, currently in 9th place. Wally Crashio and Gibbons also on that train as well. That train going absolutely nowhere. Williams is channeling his inner Yarno Trulli in Formula 1. Of course, he's once known as a Trulli train. Qualifies high up front on cars that should not be up front. And then in the race, defend very, very well and make sure no one gets past him. And then form a train behind him. While just wanted to check on other drivers here. Sean Pauli still trying to catch there. Salman. Nothing is still on as it stands for Pauli. Gibbons, oh, there might be a battle though brewing, but nothing is coming out. Gibbons was peeling through the inside of Horatio, but nothing is on at the moment. Also, Jan Sinful is having a quiet race until now. Right now, we're looking at Alex Grant piling on the pressure on Johan Sinful. For some reason, Grant has been actually caught up to Johan Sinful, especially given, actually looking at the last lap, Johan Sinful at a 145, Alex Grant a 144. And you know where Vasa Damashev is right now? Just exiting Dunlop. Now, not only has to deal with 1 lap car, he has to deal with 2 lap cars, and that might open the door for Reba and Richie to steal something. Kaminari Reba, currently at Dunlop corner right now, and right now he's gonna be really on the hunt for his chances. Kaczynski still on the hunt against Michael Turner. We also have Tyler Williams trying to defend against Solomon. Nice train of cars here. We only have shoes on Rio actually losing touch to Liu. The top 5 are now separated by at least 1.5 seconds. And you can see Domashnev. Here's Alex-Ren and Sinful. Here is Domashnev. Apologies if we get a bit quiet here sometimes because there's literally nothing much to talk about. The grid, the running order has not changed since the end of the pit stop strategies, and as you can see here, the tire wear hasn't been that high. As you can see here, the graining on these tires are not that extreme. And right now, especially given how we're racing in Suzuka of all places, that's mostly because the ambient temperatures are actually quite cold, like below 20 degrees Celsius, which also means that the track temperatures are actually quite low as well, 25 to 30. So the tires are not being pushed too hard, the tire temps are not too high, the tires are not being cooked in a sense. Speaking of which, here's the Domashnev, here's Ren and Sinful. So you can see here Grant again still fails to overtake Sinful. Looking into the final lap under the previous lap of Sinful and Grant. Only Sinful is currently only lapping at a 145. Here is Domashnev, 141.196 for him. And if he's going to be stuck behind Sinful and Grant, he's going to be losing 3 seconds a lap, which should mean that Riba might be able to catch Domashnev in 6 laps. Now we got Kamei Riba. He's getting very close to Domashnev. He's finally trying to pull out the stop stack. As you can see, Domashnev is finally gonna be seeing some struggles to pass these lap cars, and right now we're gonna be seeing Kamei Riba and Lorenzo Ricci try to pull one back. Here's Riba trying to provide an answer against Domashnev, and as you can see, it was 18.3 seconds. Now going to drop down to about 17 seconds as it stands. You can see he's lost 4/10 on that part of the track already. As you can see here, Domashnev is going to be eager to try to find a way past the 2, and hopefully he's got some plans worked out. Domashnev is getting close though to Alex Grant, but will it be enough for him to overtake? And it's going to be no. He's trying to go around the outside of it. Nothing is on at the moment. Ooh, Domashnev is going to have to back off at the moment. He really needs to find something on against Sinful and Grant. And as you can see here, 143.049 already slower than his previous lap by 2 seconds already. And already we're going to be seeing some intrigue with 16 laps to go here in the Mie Super Prix at Suzuka. Kamei Riba, who had the gaps opened up to 18.3 seconds, now dropped down to 17.5? Yes, that's going to be the case. Both Riba and Richie's going to be catching Domashnev. If Domashnev isn't going to be making any overtake anytime soon, and which he will be, he's already peeled his way against not 1 but 2. He's already made the move against Alex Grant's now made the move against Johan Sinful. That should be Domashnev. Domashnev's place in the top spot secure. He's gonna have a better chance of going back to back. Although that being said, his next target is going to be Alcantara, which fortunately for him it's actually 26 seconds. 25 seconds between himself and Tanarao, so Domashnev should try to at the very least maintain a good gap if he wants to go back to back. It's a nice afternoon here in Suzuka. The Mie Super Prix at Suzuka still currently progressing as usual. Still not much changes in the running order. There was some scares that the Masha was going to be stuck behind Sinful and Grand, but right now it's no longer going to be the case. And you can see here the pace difference is obvious for everyone to see. As the Masha continues to absolutely showcase his skill up front. If he wins this race, he will be at 725 points, and he will obviously both win the Split A championship and at the same time win his spot into the Tsuyo Cup. Damashev still trying to get himself, trying to edge himself against Kamner Reba. Reba, of course, not having much of an answer against Damashev. Here's Sean Pauli though. Again, there's no place currently in the running order where the grid order has shuffled, especially since the end of the pit stop cycles. Meanwhile, Tannerall still struggling to find a way past Richie Rod. Everyone's struggling to get themselves past each other. Here's Sinful and Grant already struggling with a huge amount of tire wear on their fronts. Looking into other drivers, let's look at Ri Liu, see if the tire wear has already kicked in. It is to an extent. 14 laps to go here in Suzuka. So let's just hope that something comes to light. Here's Damashev, here's Reba trying to find a way past each. Reba trying to think of an opportunity, trying to find a ways of passing both Sinful and Grant. Here's Sinful and Grant right now at this part of the track before Spoon, as Reba already exits the hairpin. It's very, very quiet here. Damashev currently leading this race. Reba's second. Richie's in third. Liu fourth. Horizontal Rio is going to continue his run of consecutive top 5 finishes at the very least. He will not finish in the podium for this race at the moment. Menace hangs on to 6. Turner 7. Kaczynski 8. Williams 9. Crystal Salmon in 10th. Sean Pauli currently in 11th place as well. Russell Crasho in 12th. Gibbons 13th. Watt 14th. And Tannerau 15th. Sinful 16th. And Grant 17th. For Sinful and Grant, this will condemn them even further to not qualify for the Tsuyo Cup as it stands. Lamy and Matsuri, I believe, also have committed to the bright uniform, but also seeing them be this lower down the order, it's not looking good. Especially, and also for Richie Rod, I believe Fubuki has also committed herself to the bright uniform, so that is also not going to be pleasant. Gibbons, Roboco hasn't really committed much to any of the Hololive listed idol uniforms, so for Gibbons, it's going to be tricky, but yeah, it's been a very lackluster aero season for him currently right now. He's won Hololive GT3, the overall and Split A, as well as winning Formula Hololive Split A in 2023. But right now he's just having a pretty hangover season right now, which is also quite interesting. And already we are coming into lap 33, and right now lap 33 we'll see Damashev currently still up front. Damashev, of course, having this amount of clean air for himself has got to be a dream for him. He's aiming to go back to back. Last time in Formula Hall, a Japan driver goes back to back. That was Mohamed Sheldon Reza and Mohamed Shakib Reza in the in last season, where in Split A Chazrin won both the Altopoulos and Tokachi Super Prix, which ran alongside each other. Same goes for Shakib Reza, also on the Altopoulos and Tokachi Super Prix. And based on what we're seeing here, Vlasta Tomashev is going to be the first time the driver goes back to back in two Formula Hololive rounds. And of course, if you look at the sides of the drivers in Gen 1 right now, which will comprise of Tomashev, Rod, and Sinful for this race, and Irie Nakamura in the next. And if you can see on the side of the front wing assembly and the nose, and basically on the front sides of the chassis, you see there is a message that is basically number 66 Team Forever, which of course pays tribute to the Fallen Ride, which never actually managed to participate in this season, unfortunately, due to issues, which is an absolute tragedy to take note of, actually. And Johan Sinful, of course, not having the race that he's been looking for. He's going to be set to not qualify for the Tsuyo Cup at this rate. He's just going to at least try to go out with a bang. At the very least, meanwhile, as we're coming into the final 11 laps here in Suzuka. Final 25% is upon us, and right now we're not going to be seeing much racing action. Maybe between Ryu and Lorenzo Ricci if they can get close enough. Here's Ryu. As you can see, he just lost a lot of time at the hairpin. That just shows you how much dirty air is taking a toll on the Carz's grip, especially for the following car on the pursuing Carz's grip. Just wanted to check. Looking at the other drivers, we've got Michael Turner actually catching up to Fabio Mendes, but not before he actually loses out to Fabio Mendes once again. But this time he doesn't lose as much as what Ryu had lost. Gaps between the leader and second have now opened up to 20 seconds between Damashev and Reba, as Reba is edging closer and closer to both Sinful and Grant. Damashev has had an absolute ripper in this season. As I mentioned here, second, I believe, in the season opening race in Sepang. And then I believe a top 5 at the very least at Fuji, before securing his first win at Tsukuba, and now he's going to be set to win his second Formula Hololive race, matching his Hololive GT3 tally from 2022 with probably this race win here in Suzuka. If I'm jinxing this, you can blame me all you want, but Damashev is having a very, very amazing race up to this point, an amazing season in the grand scheme of things, and if he can continue his form into the Tsuyo Cup, which it will be the case, then Damashev is gonna be having an absolute season to remember. now Plaza Damashev still needs to deal with 9 more laps here. I believe it's 9 more laps. Yeah, 9 more laps here in Suzuka. As you can see here also, Antara trying to catch up to Richira, but nothing comes out of it between the two. Here's Sinful against Grant once again. Well, Grant against Sinful. As you can see here, there's some tire wears in all sides, especially the front rights. They're currently being abused to no limit. And right now looking at some other drivers who are currently also onto something. So just wanted to ask a bit of a question for probably some people to think about. Right now we're looking at Crystal Salaman, who has been absolutely amazing this season, the Hololive 3. But as he is preferring the bright uniform, and Crystal Salaman hasn't been at his best in recent times. He's currently 15th in Split A in this as far as the standings go after 3 races. But if he grabs his top 10, he will at the very least get himself closer to the Tsuyo Cup. Can he get the job done in the final race of qualifiers of the Suzuka Grand Prix? I'd like to hear your answers in the chat if that is possible. Meanwhile, Tyler Williams though has had a season to remember, at least in his first full season for Canada. Of course, taking over from Yuki Kazekai into the full-time entrance for entrance in general with Hanaori Yuki. Tyler Williams, of course, having a very stellar season in all of their competitions. He won the Okayama 500 in the 3rd race of the Hololive 3 qualifiers, and which places the Canada Nissan in the CO series spots, and C-Review of course at Fuji. But you also want to ask yourself if Tyler Williams is going to be able to win a Formula Hololive race for Canada. Winning for your Oshi in one series is good, but winning it in both Hololive 3 and Formula Hololive is exciting and gives a lot of, how do we say this? Gives a lot of merit as to your status as a successful driver in these competitions. Well, we've basically ran out of chaos after we basically used them all at the Spielberg Grand Prix last week. And now coming into the end of the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka, it just gets calm and, you know, not much racing action. Everyone is just content on where they are at the moment, but there might be some changes in the final few laps. We'll have to wait and see. Hamner Riba has cleared Alex Grant, but now has his eyes set on Johan Sinful. Lorenzo Ricci and Reliu are still on a battle between each other, see if they can provide us with some interesting action. Here's Reba still stuck behind Johan Sinful. Will he think of a move down the inside? He has to think otherwise. He's already lost quite a amount of time there exiting Deckner 2, and now coming to the hairpin, he is losing out to Johan Sinful, and of course the gaps open up a bit more between himself and Damashnev. Reba trying to go at it against Sinful once again. This time tucking it right at the back of Sinful, and let's see if we can finally get to see some overtakes after the pit stop cycles have gone through. He's gonna go down the inside of Sinful. Ooh, and they make contact, and that's gonna be Kamen Reba spinning out. It's absolute tragedy for both Johan Sinful and Kamen Reba, as both of them were involved in a tangle, which essentially means looks like Johan Sinful is gonna try to continue. Kamen Reba says it's not gonna be it for me. It's basically game over for Kamen Reba. But for Johan Sinful, he should be able to continue. But what an incident that was between the driver who was supposed to finish second and a lap car of Johan Sinful. If Reba's opinion, if you think Reba's opinion on lap cars is gonna be good after this, then you're probably dead wrong, as it's now gone from bad to worse. Kamen Reba is currently not going to be able to continue this race as it stands. He's going to be the first DNFer in the Mia Super Prix at Suzuka weekend. And right now this will put Fabi Mendes up inside the top 5. Rio's now up into 4th. Leo is now inside the podium positions. And this will also mean that Alex Grant will be set to score himself inside the top. It's going to be set to be inside the top. It's going to be set inside the top 15. It's going to be set inside the podium positions. Alex Grant, if it continues like this. Also looking at Christoph Salman, who is now up into 9th. He should have a bit of a reprieve given the incidents that have happened in front. Here's Lorenzo Ricci trying to catch to a lap car. That's Alex Grant. Will there be some pitfalls coming soon? And also right behind him is Leo. Leo is going to try to also hunt for a second place finish at the very least, given that Damashev has been largely uncatchable, but now he's caught up to Alcazar Tanarau. And 2 lap cars standing between himself and Glory. And of course, they are at less than 5 laps to go here in Suzuka. Here's Damashnev trying to find a way past Tanarau, and of course Tanarau is only half a second behind Richie Rod. Damashnev just needs a good exit off of Spoon to probably mount a charge against Tanarau, but right now, well, he is getting close. It's not close enough to Tanarau to mount something substantial. Damashev just needs to bring this car to the finish line to guarantee himself a spot into the Tsuyo Cup and crown himself as the Split A champion. 4 laps to go here in the Mia Super Prix Split A race. We thought this race was going to be calm right until the end after the pit stop cycles, but no, with Kamen Reba's crash, this essentially meant that the whole complexion is now turned upside down for multiple of these drivers, because we're talking about driver in second crashing. Here's the Mustang trying to get close to Tanarau. Damashev getting closer to Tanarau, but he's not close enough to make a move right at the outside of Dunlop. So if he tries to make a move at the exit of Spoon and coming to 130R, will Damashev leave some space? Will each of these drivers leave some space? As Damashev is going to try to get himself ever so closer to Tanarau, but right now nothing is coming out at the moment. Tanarau is actually matching Damashev in one of these departments, and now coming into the back straight, coming into 130R. If Damashev has a very good launch, he's actually gonna be able to use it. He might go side by side with Tanarau and try to probably seal this thing to bed. As you can see here, Antanarao and Damashev, the difference between their speeds are not that apparent at the moment, but as you can see, they are still getting closer. Antanarao having a earlier launch than Damashev, but as you can see, both of them are going downhill, so also speed coming into turn 1, but three laps to go here in the Mia Super Prix. We've already seen one retirement in this race so far. That's Kaminari Reba after he made contact with Johan Sinful at 130R. 130R, that is. And right now we might be seeing Damashev trying to go bold against Antanarao, but he's too far back. He absolutely needs to be careful. Damashev has no reason to attack because he has a 30-second gap between himself and Lorenzo Ricci and Liu. He should not afford to make bold moves pretty early, quite late into this race. Damashev getting closer and closer to Antanarao. The gaps are probably around half a second between the two. Rod and Antanarao matching Vlasa Damashev's pace as it stands right now. Liu is getting close to Lorenzo Ricci, who is stuck behind Alex Grant. There might be some last lap passes after all. Lorenzo Ricci is going to probably think of making a move down the inside against Grant, but nothing is coming out. Hoshizuna Rio is also going to try to catch up. Also Damashev on a conundrum whether or not he should attack or whether he should just take it easy. The pit wall and all of the fans are chanting on him to take it easy. He has no reason to attack. If he attacks, then it's all over for Damashev. He has to wait until next round to try to seal his place into the Tsuyo Cup, and the chances of him winning this plate championship will have probably evaporated if it's not dented. Multiple lap right now. 2 laps to go here in Suzuka for the Mia Super Prix split at Suzuka. Survive, Tyson 5 in second, Liu third, Hoshizuna Rio fourth. The gaps open up between Ricci and Liu, so there might not be any movement. Damashev still stuck behind Antanarao. Damashev needs a good exit and a good run on these next few corners if he wants to, at the very least, pass Antanarao, which he might actually think that he might be doing. Final 2 laps here right now, or rather final 1 1/3 of a lap for Vlasa Damashev to survive. And right now, the gaps pretty much opened up for between Antanarao and Damashev, but Damashev doesn't need to mind too much, just needs to survive coming into the final lap. And if he can do that, it's going to be a very good achievement for Damashev. And now the final lap has been confirmed to have started. Vlasa Damashev currently takes the lead, with him trying to secure his spot in the Tsuyo Cup and also secure the Split A championship for Aki Rosenthal. He has never won a championship for Aki Rosenthal and the Rosenthal. Vlasa Damashev has shown to be a very solid driver in these competitions. He relishes in bringing in, giving it everything for his Oshi Aki Rosenthal, and Damashev is gonna have a few more corners for him to properly secure it. Ricci, Liu, and Rio not challenging each other for overtakes as it stands right now. Damashev has about 1.5 sector left for him to properly secure his spot at the top of Split A. This just needs to survive. No final lap shenanigans. Also noting that this is actually his first trip here in Suzuka because the previous driver was actually Kento Kai, or rather Liam Kai, who raced for Akira while Mashnev disappeared. But anyways, that's not going to be the big issue. Vlasto Mashnev has overcome all the odds. He's won at Tsukuba. He's going to be set to win here in Suzuka. It has been an amazing first 4 races for the Mashnev. He scored a second in Sepang as well as the top 5 in Fuji. Vlasto Mashnev crosses the line. He wins the Mias Rubri and Suzuka, and in doing so, he does 2 things. He has secured his spot in the Tsuyo Cup, and he has now been crowned the Split A champion of the Formula Hololive Japan 2024 qualifiers. Your Split A champion. Alex Grant, currently the next driver to cross the line. Despite him being 50, he will at least get away with 1 point. Lorenzo Ricci has survived the odds against Liu and Rio for him to finish second. Liu finishes third. I believe this is his first podium for Sakamata Chloe in Formula Hololive, so he's got to be very excited for himself. The hot upshot rookie Hoshizuna Rio finishes fourth. Not a good race for him. Fabio Mendes has got to be fuming that Liu has beat him, but that doesn't really matter because Fabio Mendes is going to at least score a top 5 for Hakui Koyori. Michael Turner 6 for Noah. Kaczynski 7 for Choco. Is what could have been story for Raiji Kaczynski as he started from pole. Tyler Williams, Crystal Salaman, Sean Pauli, next drivers to cross the line with Rustin Croshaw as well. Salaman will at least escape with a 9th place finish. Williams 8th, Sean Pauli 10th, Rustin Croshaw 11th, Gibbons 12th, Roth 13th, and Taro set to finish 14th. A great race for Vlasta Damashnev. What can you say about him? He is the man in Split A. Dethrones Callum Gibbons on that Split A spot. An amazing race for Vlasta Damashnev all around. So anyways, let's take a look into the final race results of the Mias Race Suzuka. Vlasta Damashnev is of course the winner here in Suzuka. Congratulations for Vlasta Damashnev for going back to back as well. Between Tsukuba and the Mias Super Prix. He has also secured his place in the Tsuyo Cup as well as becoming the Split A champion. Congratulations to Vlasta Damashnev. Lorenzo Ricci 2nd for Hosha Marine, Leo 3rd, Hoshizuna Rio 4th, Fabio Mendes 5th. Michael Turner is the next driver to be. He is in 6th place. Also we have Raja Kaczynski in 7th place alongside Tyler Williams in 8th. Crystal Salaman 9th. He is at least lucky to have at least secured a top 10 for ASCII. And Sean Pauli rounds out the top 10 for Inugami Korone. Rustin Karashio 11 for Laplace Darkness. Callum Gibbons 12 for Roboko alongside Richie Rod for, and then Richie Rod 13th and Tanner Ralph 14th and for Roboko, Fubuki, and Okai respectively. Alex Grant is going to be fortunate that he manages to escape with only a single point for Yuki Hanalami. And it's going to be a shame for Johan Sinful because he has lacked the pace all race for him to compete for points. And that being said, he's going to be out of the Tsuyo Cup altogether. Very, very unfortunate for him. As well as Kaminari Riba, who will still have a chance to qualify for the Tsuyo Cup if results go his way. But the same that he should have finished second this race, but was involved in that late race crash. Just a bit of a shame, honestly. Apologies for the wrong intermission. So I'm gonna share my thoughts on this race before we get into some replays, especially Damashnev's overtake against Kaminari Reba. That was quite amazing to see, especially in the first portion of the race. He started third. He's now secured his place up front. So if you want to know the exact point on when he manages to beat Raja Kaczynski, but I just wanted to find that point. Just wanted to check back on what has exactly happened. Okay, but first of all, let's take a look into the race start here. See what has happened. So let's go on board. So let's check on the replay. See what exactly happened on Kaminari Reba's opening move against Suzuka. You can see here, Suzuka had a lot of wheel spin quite the wheel spin at the start, and Reba manages to take the opportunity absolutely cleanly. As you can see, hanging around the inside lane was the right move for Reba for him to take the spot away from Kaczynski. But then Reba then lost the lead against Kaczynski, I believe, sometime in this race. So we're gonna go a bit of a replay here. So we're gonna go on board Kaminari Reba as the race kind of gets started. So this is the start. See here, there's a good launch there by Kaminari Reba against Kaczynski, and as you can see here, Kaczynski is trying to mount a challenge around the outside of turn 1. Of course, nothing came of that, and manages to clear. So also we want to take a look into what happened to Reba and and so we have Kaczynski, who just maintains his spot, and here is Kaminari Reba against Roger Kaczynski, and of course Lassev has actually managed to beat them all. Here's Antenna, there's Gibbons, Rustin Crush, Sean Pauly, Crystal Salman, and just wanted to check back on certain drivers here. Let me just check Reba. Yes, this is the part where Reba, I believe he was overtaken by Vlasa Domashnev at the earlier stages of this race, and I believe that is the decider of this race, honestly. He was actually very quick. And if you can see here, it was actually thanks to Alex Grant that allowed Domashnev to steal something away from this one. So let's take a look at what actually happened between Domashnev and Kaminari Reba. Oh, you can see here, Kaminari Reba was trying to attack at the wrong place, and you can see here Domashnev trying to, and then manages to pass Kaminari Reba for the race lead. Very, very cunning from Domashnev to take the race lead away. Here's the Domashnev who's on board, lap 7. Oh, around the outside of the, around the outside and the inside of the S's. That was amazing from Domashnev. This is the move that decided the race. Absolutely. And also, if you want to, just want to check out what happened to Kaminari Reba against Johan Sinful, here's an onboard of what happened to Reba and Sinful. Oh man, that's Johan Sinful not leaving space. And a slam into the outside wall. Not helping matters either. Let me check on Johan Sinful. Here's Johan Sinful. First there was a slight touch and then the bang. So let's check out the rear end on board just to see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Apologies for the background audio once again. Not really much I could avoid. But you can see what happened to Sinful and Reba. That was quite interesting. You can see here. It's Sinful and of course Reba has lost, but especially Reba has lost because he was in second. So again, very unfortunate for Kaminari Reba. Absolutely have to feel for him. So anyways, that should be the end of the stream. With that being said, let's take a look into the standings with one race to go. And fortunately, it's all secure. Although, okay, a bit of a check here, just a bit of verification for everyone. This is what the championship standings would look like after 4 races and coming into the Suzuka Grand Prix finale. Vlasa Tomashev has, of course, secured his spot as the Split A champion. He's over 200 points over everyone else. Lorenzo Ricci down in 506. Ri Liu now inside 3rd place right now. Tyler Williams 4th and then Tanner Rao 5th. And looking into the remaining drivers currently in the Tsuyo spot, Kamine Riba is currently in 6th. Hoshizuna Ryo is securing his spot in the Tsuyo Cup spot. He's now up into 7th. Fabio Mendes has now snuck himself inside the Tsuyo Cup spot alongside Michael Turner. And Richie Rod is the last driver in the Tsuyo Cup spots. And the first driver out in the Zako is currently Sean Pauli. He's down, as well as Rustin Karasio and Raijin Kaczynski in 13th place. Callan Gibbons 14th, Crystal Salmon 15th. And with Richie Rod at 206, it's still on for the remaining 7 drivers in the Zako to make it into the Tsuyo, but they need the results to go their way. Especially if you're in the likes of Salomon, Gibbons, who needs at the very least a 5th place in the next race at Sportsline Tsugo for them to compete in the Tsuyo Cup next season. Alex Grant and Johan Sinful, of course, have lots of work cut out for them as they needed something in the final race at Sportsline Tsugo for their split before the split A is properly settled. But as for Vlasa Tomashev, it's his time. Let him enjoy his time as the Split A champion. Again, congratulations to Vlasa Tomashev for winning the Split A championship in Formula Hololive, as well as securing his spot in the Tsuyo Cup. Also, just want to add one more thing. With that, with Richie at 206, anyone above 406 points will also have secured a spot in the Tsuyo Cup. With that being said, Lorenzo Ricci have also secured his spot into the Tsuyo Cup. Congratulations also to Lorenzo Ricci. With that being said, I'm Mama Shinrisa in the commentary booth, and thank you for watching the Formula Hololive Japan stream, the Mia Super Race Suzuka. We'll see you tomorrow for the Split B race. Take care, everyone.